Thought I could count on you. I thought we had a deal. I gave you all I had. Put you in front of friends. It was me and you. For it was one of them. I introduced you to them. I should have seen it then. It was never about me. It's what I could do for you. What you could get about me. Who I could introduce you to. I knew the truth. Still there was nothing I would do for you. A fool for you. You break my legs. Still jump through hoops for you. I thought we had a deal. 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 It's hard to let you go when I'm still holding on. Said I should leave you, I don't need you, should be moving on. This shit is stupid hard, and I ain't ready for it. Said I should leave you, I don't need you, I ain't ready for it. They weren't there for it, no, they weren't there, were they? They weren't there when she despaired to have her prayers working. She wanted to die daily, and I was 9 maybe. I'm on the couch with mom, talking about don't cry, baby. We'll be alright, baby. Yeah, we gon' make it through. I'm scared to death inside, but I know I can't let it through. I ain't know where to turn, I didn't know what to do. You gave me hope when there was none. I owe my life to you. I thought we had a deal.
Leave me not ready to let you go. Let you go. I'm begging, don't leave me. Take anything you want, everything if you want it.
You gave my life purpose before it had any. You gave me courage when I didn't have any. We were the best of friends before I had any. I gave you all I had. You turned your back to me. You set a trap for me. I never seen it coming. You had me blind to if I didn't want to feel you numb it. You left my life a wreck, and I hate you for it. I'm still in love with you, and I hate you for it.
Yes, sir. Welcome to St. John Live. My name is Mike St. John. I am in long-term recovery. My sobriety clean date's June the 1st, 2016. Grateful to be here, man. We got 38 in here popping, man. Hit them heart buttons. Let's get this shout out. Let's help somebody tonight. I want to give a shout out to my page sponsor, One Stop Phone Shop out of London, Kentucky. 606-657-2750. Josh, Maxie, and Daryl Hudson. Like I said, if y'all don't care, hit that share button, man. Share this to the groups. Let's share it out to somebody that's struggling. You never know just who needs it. You know what I'm saying? I was going to share it, but I'm going to let you all share it. I don't have time to do all that, man. We got a powerful message tonight, man. If you don't care, post your sobriety clean dates. I'm going to do that right now. And post where you're watching from. Let us know where you're watching from. But yeah, man, grateful to be here, man. I was down, our family had COVID-19, man, and, it's been running rampant in the house. My wife's got it now. My son's got it, so keep us in your prayers, please. I felt like crap last week, and I done a live anyway, and I'm grateful I did, man, because I had a lot of feedback on it. But first and foremost, I want to say, I got a phone call earlier. I was out getting a milkshake through the drive-thru, man, and we lost one of my good friends, man. I'm not going to put his name on here because I'm not the guy to do that, but some of y'all know who it is. Some of y'all don't. You'll find out on Facebook. But I just talked to him 2 days ago, man, and told him how proud I was of him, man, and he was doing this, he was doing that. He was happy, content. Facebook is sometimes not always the truth. Sometimes it's fake. And he was found dead in his apartment, man. So, it's just sad, man. But, I'm just grateful, man. There's a solution, man. God could and would if he were sought. And, I never dreamed this life was possible, man. But, I was thinking today as I was holding my kids, man, if we was to pass away today or tomorrow, who's going to take care of our funeral? Whether it's a car wreck, whether it's a relapse, whether it's a health problem, whatever. Who's going to take care of the funeral bill? You know what I'm saying? Don't leave it on your family. Don't leave it on your kids. Don't leave it on your mom and dad, man. Start you a family, a funeral plan or whatever, man. I don't know. I've got one. I don't know if my family's got one, man. But it's sad because, when you get the phone call that, a loved one passed away, then somebody's got to put the funeral arrangements together. But it's sad. Just keep him and his family in your all's prayers, man. As part of this, they told me, Mike, get you a suit ready because you're going to need it, and I never understood why. They said you're going to lose people along this mission, and we had two OD 2 weeks ago at work, clients. We had two OD this weekend. They're still alive, so the dope that's going around is not the dope I done 5.5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's cut with everything from A to Z. And, it's sad. But listen, I'm going to give a shout out here in these comments, man. Brittany Clemens, always in here. Hit that share button. Share this out to the groups. Pam Yanish, Matt Corson, I love you, man. Donna Martin, Recovery Wagon, thank you for everything you do. Tim Lanehart, love you, man. Brittany Clemens, Jared Underwood, Mark Sanford, Ali, I can never say that word. Aliva Reyes, all the way from Michigan. Chad Ham, I love you, man. Welcome. Lisa Marie Reed from Indiana. Terry Gibson from right here in Richmond, Kentucky. Mark Sanford, shout out. Appreciate that, man. Hit the heart button, too, man. We got 55 watching. We don't have 55 hearts up there yet, so hit that heart button, man. Hit the like button. Hit the cry button, sad button, angry button. I don't care. Get them hearts up there, man. Nikki Dorsey, 31620. Matt Corson, 31716. Brooke Bard, 81320. Dennis Johnson, appreciate your support, man. Appreciate everything you do. Stephen McFadden, 22621. Donna Martin, 81919. Mark Sanford from Chase City, Virginia. Awesome. Nikki Dorsey, Harrisburg. Leanne Sizemore, Manchester, Kentucky. Charles Getter, 91518. Brittany Clemens out of Indiana. Dennis Johnson, Nashville, Illinois. Awesome. I've seen Drew Hicks in here. Diana Johnson, Clearfield, Kentucky. Drew Hicks, I love you, man. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your encouragement. Who else we got? Eve Trent Robbins. I'm watching this family right down the road from y'all, like 10 minutes away down by the Army Depot. Awesome. Glad you have you in here. Hit that share button one time, huh? Get them hearts up. We up to 24. Look, we got 59, 60 people on here. I don't see 60 hearts. So let's get it pumping. Hit that heart button like pow, 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 pow. Yeah, bam, got him. Bill Callahan, I love you, man, from East Bernstadt, Kentucky, man. Yeah, I'm feeling a little better, man. I'm not 100, but I feel better than what I did. Lindsey Rump, welcome. Kevin James Davis, welcome. Jordan Davis. Wade Venable, 11-5-21, welcome, man. Shane and Nikki Johnson, welcome. Lib, I can't say your last name. I don't know how. Welcome. Christy Boney, right here in Richmond, Kentucky, 91814. Show out then, 91814, huh? Jared Underwood, watching from Tennessee. Kelly Sullivan, welcome, 9116. James Burchett, hey, I love you, man. I miss you, dude. James was my right-hand man there at work, dude. He helped me do a lot. I hope you're still doing good, man. I know you are. I see you on Facebook. Bev Stamper, 112, 2007 from London, Kentucky. Stephen McFadden, I love you, man. Thanks for being on here. Shannon Stark, welcome. Proud of all your people too, man. Let's see. I am Denzil. Denzil's mama. We got mama on here. I got Denzil, our guest, is in the background here. Your mama's on here, boy. All right, then. Jennifer Braunstrup, 12-11-19. Welcome, Cassandra Phelan, 318-17. Welcome. Hit that share button. Hit the heart buttons, guys. Let's get this party started, man. I want to give another shout out here to, everybody that supports me, man. Tonight we've done a little something different. I'm running live on my personal Facebook page. I'm running live on my St. John Live platform. And I also have a YouTube channel now. Go check it out. Subscribe. I was given a suggestion to get the message out there to broader band. So, that's what I done. I finally figured out how to do it. But shout out to my wife, Marie St. John. She's not feeling good, man. Keep her in your prayers. We just got to get this COVID behind us, man. Get back on the wagon. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, our guest tonight, Denzil Hall, he works for the Isaiah House, man. We've been friends on Facebook for a long time. I'm gonna bring him on here for a minute. I'm gonna tell. What up, Denzil? Welcome.
What's happening, bro?
Now I was telling them, man, we've been friends on Facebook for a while. We had the same people as friends, man. I've been doing a little research on you, man, and you always got something good to say. Your post on Facebook's positive, man. You work in the treatment field, man, and you've done a lot of time here in Richmond, correct? Is that where you're from, right here?
I'm originally from Moorhead, but I done my time in MCDC.
I wouldn't tell people you're from Moorhead. But no, I like everything that you do, man. You give back. You work for the Isaiah House. That's what's awesome about my platform, man. I'm not tied to nobody. I can talk about Isaiah House, ARC, the Hope Center, recovery works, step works, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about all because it takes all of us. You
If
know what
we
I'm
all in the
saying?
same game.
All treatment facilities are not the same. I'll be the one to say that. I raise my hand. All treatment facilities are not the same, but the Isaiah House is one of a kind, and I support it. I refer to it. I put a lot of people in treatment there, man, and I just want to thank you for everything you do, man.
Appreciate it, man.
But yeah, let's. Your mom's on here, man, and that's awesome that your mom's on here. You know, going to
You
listen
know
to
that
you, man.
that's a unique story in itself, man. Because my mama chased me from Detroit, Michigan, to Daytona, Florida, back to Richmond, Kentucky, back to Moorhead, and then back to the Isaiah House. You
Yeah,
know, it's my mom's found me in some bad positions. You know what I mean? But we've
yeah.
been able now to get out and spread the message together, and it's awesome, bro.
That is awesome, man, and that's powerful because sometimes my mom would chime in on this, man, and I get soft. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
I start tearing up, and but anyway, man, it's your time to shine, man. Talk about whatever, whenever. Talk about God, Jesus, the 12 steps, jail, using, abusing, drugging, thugging, whatever, man, and let's sling out hope tonight, man. And it's your time to shine, man. And I've never heard your story, but I've heard from other people you got a killer story, man. So let's try to help somebody tonight.
All right, man. Let's get into
Let's go. Show out them,
it.
boy.
Let's show out one time. All right. My name's Denzil. I'm from Moorhead, Kentucky. Originally from Moorhead. My sobriety date's 7/8/16. Uh, you know, I think one of the biggest things that keeps me driving today, man, is like you said, we still work in the treatment field. You know, I've got interns that are still clients that come in and work with me, and I'm able to sit and talk with them and watch the growth and the inspiration. Man, they don't even know what they do for me. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
That's what it keeps me turning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I tell them all the time. I said, if I can make this work, anybody can make this work. You
Yes.
know, my addiction run deep for 32 years. You know, I started drinking alcohol when I was 8 years old, and I was into drugs by the time I was in the eighth grade, and it was just a vicious cycle. And
Right.
when I was a kid, when I was raised up, my mom was a good Christian lady, and she used to drag us to church all the time. But then I had my dad. Dude, my dad molested me when I was a kid. You know what I mean? I try to be transparent because that was the thing right there that stemmed my mind process.
Yes.
you know, Growing up as a young kid, man, I always questioned God. I thought, how could you let the one that was supposed to protect me do the things that he's done? You know what I mean? And it taught me the things it taught me was not to trust people, especially
Yes.
men.
Mm-hmm.
I had a hard problem trusting any guy that ever come in my life. I can remember as a kid running. We had a big tobacco field in behind our house, and I would run and hide because my mom she'd be gone, and I'd have to stay home, and things would happen, and and scare me, dude. And then I'd run and hide, and it just kept on like that all the time. Then when I got into high school, when I got into school, I got introduced to alcohol, and at the age of 8, man, when I first took that drink of alcohol, dude, it just I don't know it was like I was free. I didn't have that problem no more.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just. And I'm not going to get into war stories, man, because I could sit and ramble all night long about what's happened to me. But I'll give you some key points. You know, I've I've been shot 2 times. I've been stabbed multiple times. I've been left in pools of blood to just die. I've eat out of dumpsters. I've been homeless. And like you said, man, my story goes from Detroit, Michigan, down to Daytona, Florida, back to Richmond, Kentucky, back to Moorhead. It just bounces around everywhere, dude. But the one key factor in that, I followed myself everywhere I went. You
Yes,
know what
sir.
I mean? I'd get this mind concept of if I move to this town, this is an opportunity that I can get away from all this crap.
Yes.
But I was the kind of dude I could find dope anywhere.
Mhm.
It didn't matter where I went, I found it. You know what I mean? I found it, and that's
Yeah.
the way it was. I mean, and I remember 2010. No, 2011 was the first time I got put in jail in Richmond, Kentucky, and I got picked. We got pulled over. I was with somebody. And we got pulled over, and they took them in for DUI. And I was just as drunk as they was. And the cop told me, he said, "Look here," he said, "you take off walking." And
Right.
I thought, yeah, I know how this game gonna play out. So I get halfway down the street, man, and I get picked up for a public intoxication. I go in, I had mud all over me and everything. And I go in, and it was like 12:04 at night. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, they released me, and I make it about 2.5 blocks down the street again, and another cop stopped me and took me right back in for another
No.
DI. And that's how my addiction. That's how everything always happened to me, dude. I was in the wrong places at the wrong time.
Yes.
So in 2014, I remember I made a phone call to my mom, and I told her because, man, I was a garbage can. I done any kind of drugs. It didn't matter what it was. I done it all. I drank. It didn't matter. And I remember 2014. I called my mom, and this was the first time I seen God working in my life again. But I kind of ignored it afterwards. But this was the first point that I'd seen. And I called mom, and I tell her, I said, I need help. And I said, I've been to different recovery centers, and I said nothing was working. It was like when I finished the program, I was out the door, and there I was again. I didn't have a job. I didn't have no place to stay. At that time, sober living homes wasn't real big. You know what I
No.
mean? Like not like it is now. And nothing was working for me. It seemed like. But the one key factor, I wasn't changing much. You hear me? I
Mhm.
wasn't changing much about me for nothing. But that's what I always blamed it on. And when I called mom, and I said I need some help, man, she done some research on the internet, and she found the Isaiah House in 2014. So she calls me back in about 20, 30 minutes. She said, "Well, I've got everything set up." But she said, "You need, like, I think it was like $235." And she said, "I don't have it." And I said, "Well, I don't have it." And I said, "If I had it, I'd be high right now."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I got off the phone with her, and I said, "Let me see what I can do." And I got off the phone, and I just sat there because I knew there wasn't nothing I could do. And it wasn't about 10 minutes, my sister calls me, and she said, "Bub, what are you doing?" And her mom hadn't been talking. So I said, "Nothing. I'm sitting here. Why?" And she said, "Well, my neighbor just got a hold of me. He wants to know if you want to detail his camper, and he's going to pay you $250. What about
What?
that for God?"
If
Huh?
that ain't God, I don't know what is, huh? Yeah.
But and I went and done that. I was sick as a dog, and I went and done that, and I got that $250, and that helped me get into the Isaiah House. And I remember the first day my mom pulls up, she pulls in the parking lot, and I looks at that place, and a little bitty old place in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Amish buggies. We got behind an Amish buggy on the way there, and it seemed like it took
Yeah.
forever to get there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we pull up, and this little old short dude comes running outside, a little Randy. And he just sitting there telling me all about it. And I'm like, "Dude, I just need a bed. I
Yeah.
just want to lay down." And, I went through there and I did the long-term program, Mike. And I let go of some crap, and I talked to them about things. And, the staff was so loving and loving on you, man, and trying to help you and giving you key points. But I'm a man, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I had that testosterone. I had that ego. I didn't
Yeah.
want to let go of none of that. I'm like, you can't,
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I ended up doing 15 months. I stayed there for 15 months, and I actually got on payroll. I had a job there on the construction company they had at the time. And so I get my phone back when I got on payroll. I got my phone and everything, and I got talking to this girl. And at that time, we had a women's center that used to be in behind there.
Yeah.
And I got hooked up with one of them. And when we got together and everything, and she was actively drinking, but I thought I could handle that. You know what I mean? And it went on there for about a month and a half, and I done real good. I didn't do nothing there for a while. Then lo and behold, it caught me at a weak moment, and I went right back into drinking again, Mike. And then it hit me really hard. All through my addictions, I could always count myself as a functioning addict and a
Right.
functioning alcoholic. I always had a home. I always had somewhere to stay, whether it be a friend's house or something. I never had to live in the woods. I never had to live on a park bench. And I thought, well, I ain't there, so I ain't, you know what I mean? I ain't that bad. I ain't as bad as he's over here.
Right. Right.
And when me and her finally split up, I had a buddy in Florida call me, and he said, "Look, man," he said, "if you need help," he said, "come down here." And he said, "I can help you get a job and do this and do that." So I called my mom, I called my sister, and I said, "Well, I'm moving to Florida." Here we go again. We're going to start another rodeo. I said, "I'm
Wow.
moving to Florida." And at that time, mom and them really didn't even know I was doing anything. They thought I was still on the sober side.
Right.
And so I weaseled them out of like $1,000 to take with me. And before I ever hit the Florida line, I was high as
Yeah.
a kite. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
How's boat
That's
gas?
what we do.
Yeah. Let me ask
And
you a question. When you met that girl and she was, drinking or using whatever, drinking, um, and you had that thought, that's not going to bother me. That's not going to play in my, I can handle that. What was that like? You know what I'm saying? And the reason I ask people this a lot, because a lot of people that's in recovery, and I know a few that's successful with 7, 8, 10, 12 years, and their woman drinks occasionally. But when you knew or found out that, like, you're trying to do something different, you meet this girl, and we all find our rehab love. Only by the grace of God, ours is still love.
yeah,
But did it register that maybe this, like, you're going back to the fire or back to the hell? You know what I'm saying? Even though you wasn't putting nothing in your body yet, but as you just said, eventually you did.
right.
But did something register there to say, "Hey, Denzil, this ain't going to work"? You know what I'm saying? What was that kind of like?
I had that thought from the get go. I knew it wasn't going to work, but at that point, I was at that point in my recovery. I was about a year and 2 months sober, and I would consider at that time I was a recovered cowboy. You hear me? I felt like I could go save
Yeehaw!
her. Yeehaw!
Yeah.
I felt like I could save her. That's what it honestly felt like. And the more we was together, the more it ticked me off. I'd get mad.
Yeah.
I was like, "God, just quit drinking." I said, "You can't keep putting this in front of my face all the time." And it just kept on and on and on, man. And she was angry drunk. You hear me? She was that kind of drunk. She was mean and she was angry when she do that. And I folded, bro. And I folded. And God bless her heart, because she's gone now. And
She passed away.
yep. And
Wow.
it went on, and I got to Florida, man. Florida's where Florida's where it got real bad for me. I'd been in Detroit. I lived up in Detroit, right in the outskirts of Detroit, Michigan, there for about 2 years, and I seen some crap up there, man. I never want to see again in my life. I'm old country boy. You feel me? I'm from the country, and that's how I love to live today. I live a quiet, peaceful life, and that's the way I like it. But and when I get to Florida, the old boy, as soon as I pull in his driveway, he wasn't on the right side of the fence. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was high as a kite when I first got there.
Yep.
And I knew it. It registered in my mind as soon as I seen him. And I said, "Man, what you want?" Because I got money and let's do it. And, I landed the job there. I landed the job doing concrete work for $27.50 an hour. And you think most folk, man, get a job for $27.50 an hour, they'd be on the up and
Yeah.
up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went down and down. It went on there, and I think after about 3 weeks, I got that second paycheck, and it was a little over $1,200, man, and I was off on the run.
Yep.
I got introduced to some powerful ice down there, and it destroyed my world, man. And when I couldn't find that, that was the first time in my life that I'd ever got into heroin. I always done pills and cocaine and smoked the crack and done everything else. But when I got down there, I got introduced to the heroin, man, and my life went dark. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember on the 4th of July in 2016, I was coming out of the woods. I was living in a little old palmetto forest in the middle of a zip line park on International Boulevard down in Daytona, and I was living right in the middle of that zip line park. And you had to be out there at 7 o'clock in the morning because all the workers come in there, so you had to get up out of there if you was homeless. So I was walking across the street, and there was this little bitty store there, and right in the front, it was all glass windows. And I was walking by, and I kind of looked over to my left, and I seen myself looking back at me, dude. And at that very moment, I didn't know me no more.
Right.
I'd lost me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been pretty bad off before, dude, but I've never been to that point. And you know, and I was hundreds and hundreds of miles away from anybody that I knew, my family, my mom, my sister. I mean, I didn't know nobody down there, man. The old dude that I'd hooked up with down there, me and him parted ways, and I was I was mad at myself, and I was at the end of my rope.
Yep.
That was my rock bottom. That was my breaking point. And you know, that night, dude, I scraped up some money panhandling, and I went and got a big fat sack, and I made a conscious decision to kill myself. So I purposely tried to overdose, and I succeeded for over 3 minutes. And God and the EMTs and the doctors had a different plan for me. I remember waking up in the hospital, and the doctor was sitting there looking at me, and he looked at me. The first thing that come out of his mouth was, dude, he said, "You need help."
Right.
And he said, "You just died for a little over 3 minutes." He said, "We had to Narcan you." He
Excuse me.
said, "We Narcaned you 4 different times to get you back." And he said, "You need help." And, you know, I'd got so bad in that point that my mom and my sister was the only two family members I had, dude, that hadn't given up on me. You know what I mean? They hadn't given up, but at that point they did give up. They didn't they wouldn't answer my phone calls or nothing, but I knew my mama was still praying for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mama, I was always praying.
Yeah. And that doctor asked me, he said, "Do you have anybody you can call?" And I said, "Man," I said, everybody I know have given up on me."
Yep.
I said, "No." I said, "And it's my fault." I said, "You know, I would instill a little trust, and I'd take it tenfold." And I said, and this is where I'm at today.
Yep.
And he handed me my cell phone, and he said, "Here, do me a favor." And he said, "Try to call your mom." And I picked my phone up, Mike, and I hit my mom's button, and she hadn't answered the phone for me like 2 months. I hit that button, second ring, my mom answered.
Wow.
And I told her, and I didn't tell her I just overdosed, dude, because I didn't want to scare her to death.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I called and I told her, and I was crying, and I said, "Mom, I need help." And I said, "I'm dying, and I'm going to die." And she said, "Well, let me see if I can." She said, "Let me make a couple phone calls and see what I do." And she had talked to Mark again from my age, and Mark had told her that he'd help her out, try to get me back up here. And
Right.
Mom called, and she said, "Well, Mark said he'd wire you some money to get a Greyhound." I said, "No, don't do that." I said, "Because I ain't gonna get on that Greyhound.
Yeah.
You send me money."
No.
I said, "Don't do that." So my mama gets in the car and drives 16 and a half hours straight to Florida, man, to pick me up. And I remember she called me and she said, "Where you at?" And I said, "Mom, I've been sitting in front of this Krispy Kreme donut now for 16 hours. And I said, "I'm
Wow.
not moving." I said, "I'm waiting on you." And dude, you want to talk about one of the most humbling experiences I've ever had in my life when my mom pulls up. Here I weighed about a $119, stunk. I hadn't had a shower in probably 4 or 5 months, man. And I know I smelled like
Wow.
a daggone dumpster because I was eating out of them. You hear me? I was eating out of them things. That's where my life had went. And dude, and I used to see people get in that shape. When I lived in Detroit, I seen people like that. And I said, I will never get there.
No, I
But I
did too.
did.
Yeah.
But I did.
Let me
And
ask you a question. That 16 hours you was sitting there, man, like that was probably the longest 16 hours of your life, because I can kind of relate to that, man. But at that time, and I'm going to throw God in the picture right here real quick. Where was your relationship at with God when you OD'd? You're sitting there, you're rock bottom again in a different state, Florida. You know what I'm saying? Because at this time, something kept you here, man. But that 16 hours sitting there, what was the pain like?
it was horrible, man.
Like,
You know,
tell
the
me.
only thing that kept running through my mind, it was like I rewound back to my childhood, and that whole 16 hours I sat there, dude, I kept replaying everything I'd done wrong, the steps I took wrong, the things I could have changed, the things I didn't change. Everything was running through my mind. Not only was I dope sick, man, I was mentally sick. You know what I mean? My mind was gone. You know, I remember making phone calls to my mom prior to that situation and telling her that people was chasing me.
Well,
And
yeah,
how
they're
stupid,
everywhere.
man.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere. People were chasing me, talking.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be sitting beside somebody and they was talking about me on a cell phone. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
Like
they
you
didn't know
got
me from
something they
Adam.
need. Like you got
Yeah, they
something they
didn't know me
want.
from Adam. That's where my mental state had went. And
Yes.
you know, I wasn't only physically sick, I was mentally sick, dude. And it took me, honestly, it took me getting to that point. And on that ride back, hey, listen to this though. When I'd overdosed that day, I shot up with ocean water.
Salt
So
water.
yeah. So on the ride home, dude, on the ride back to Kentucky, my arm was swelling up. My forearm looked like Popeye. You hear me? It was huge, and it hurt so bad because all that infection had set up.
Mm-hmm.
So when we in Richmond's where this took place, my mom stops in Richmond at the hospital there and takes me over there. And the doctors told me, I was thinking, dude, that they give me like an antibiotic. You know what I
Right.
mean? They give me an antibiotic and they get that out. No, sir, they had to cut it wide open. They took my arm and lanced it open, and that doctor's and my mom then was holding me in that chair. He wouldn't give me no pain pills because mom told him I was addict. And she said, no more for him.
Yeah. Nope.
So they're sitting there squeezing that stuff out, dude. And you know, when I got back to IH, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And a couple of the guys that I'd been through the program with there previously was employed there now, and they was ones that checked me in. And I remember I got there and I went to bed, and I got up 2 days later. I didn't get up for 2 days. I got up 2 days later and I come out in the middle of the hallway. You've been there. I got up in the middle of the hallway and I just looked around, scratching my head, and I'm like, boy, I've been here
Yeah.
all over
Yeah.
again.
All over
But
again.
but you know, I made a vow, Mike, when I got there this time. I made a vow with myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I made a vow of God, and I prayed to God every morning. And I said, you know, help me change. I
Yeah.
know you physically can't change me, but give me the mental capacity to help me change.
Yes.
And you know, dude, I started working on myself from the inside out.
Yeah.
I could care. This ain't gonna never get no prettier.
No,
But
it
my
sure
heart,
ain't.
Robbie Pearson shaking his head no too right now.
Yeah, he's on my other. He's watching on the other page.
But you know, when I went through this time, I got real,
Mm-hmm.
and I quit worrying about what the person beside me was thinking.
Yes,
You
and
know,
that's hard
if
to
I
do,
had to get
man.
in the floor, if I had to get in the floor on my knees and ask God, I would do it, and I still
Yes,
do it. I still do
yes.
it to this day, man. And you know, I remember sitting, and one of the counselors there told me, he said, "You need to." He said, "You know your problem," and I said, "What's that?" And he said, "It ain't the drugs and alcohol." He said,
Mm-hmm.
"That's your band-aid."
Yep.
He said, "Your problem is you." He
Yeah.
said, "Your problem is," he said, "you can't be transparent." He said, "Be transparent." And, you know, when he talked to me about that, I broke down right in the middle of class. I can remember it so well. And I broke down right in the middle and I started crying. And the first thing I started talking about was my dad and what me and him have been
Yep.
through.
Yep.
And I started talking about other things, man. You know, I used that as an excuse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I added on
Yes.
so much more after that.
Yes.
And it took me tearing it wall by wall and tearing it down and tearing it down and tearing it down. And I started healing finally.
Mm-hmm.
And I started feeling, and I could actually look in the mirror and say, "Go, man, you all right.
Listen,
You ain't
when
the
you
prettiest
spoke
thing, but you all right."
when you spoke up in class, and you know, and I deal with a lot of guys that carry a lot of weight with them, the backpack. We'll call it. They carry the backpack, and I try to tell them, and I said, listen, man, you're going to be embarrassed or you're going to feel a certain way, you know, getting in front of people and speaking like we all are first time speaking or getting free or letting the weight off out of the backpack. But you know, what you're carrying could unlock the key
Amen.
to someone else's problems, man.
Yes, sir.
Uh, whether it's molestation, whether it's physical abuse, verbal abuse, you know, we can keep going with all these things that's happened to us, man. And us as men, I'll keep it on me. I was taught, you know, don't show weakness, don't cry, you know,
Yeah.
don't trust women. If you're going to cry, go in another room and cry. You know, don't show weakness, blah blah blah. All that. And it's all lies, man, because listen, normal people that's not like us, they cry whenever they want to.
Yep.
They don't have trust issues. They can show weakness, and it's okay to talk about stuff like we was distilled these core beliefs because I grew up in a drug lifestyle, thugging, drugging, guns and violence. You know what I'm saying? But like I don't teach my kids, hey, it's you're not allowed to cry, Corbin. He's 3 years old,
Right.
but we do discipline him that when he's crying over nothing, hey, there's no reason to cry, but we don't tell him, hey, go in your room and cry, you little baby.
Right.
That's not normal. You know what I'm saying? But
That's
and the
how
reason
that's how you tear them down.
yes, and the reason I ask that, man, because I know for a fact the day that you broke down crying in front of those people and let that out of the bag, you helped a lot of people that day. I know you did.
Oh yeah, and not only that, I mean, it started helping me release.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Through my addiction, dude, I used that time from when I was a kid. I used that to drive me.
Mm-hmm.
And through my addiction, like I said, you just keep adding so much weight on, and all the lies and manipulations and everything that you do, the bridges you burn. You feel me? I
Mm-hmm.
still ain't. Still to this day, I still have like my mom and my oldest sister. I've got another sister and a brother that don't have nothing to do with me because it's like they sit and wait on me to go back again. But you know what? Not today. I'm not
No.
doing it no more. I
No.
can't do it no more, man.
No.
I've got a wife today, dude, that helps me get right back over. If I'm swerving, she pulls me back over. You know what I mean?
I got
And,
one of them
and she
too.
she holds me there,
Yeah.
and I need that. I'm a knucklehead.
Mm-hmm.
I need that every day. And like I said, like I was talking about earlier, I was talking to one of the guys that work, one of my interns work with me, and I said, you know what, man? I said, I don't care who you are, what state you from, or whatever. I said, anybody that does drugs, that drinks alcohol, I said, man, there's a reason. I said, there's some little reason that makes you want to turn to that. And I had one tell me, he said, well, I just do it. He said, I do it just because he said, I like the feeling. I said, why don't you like the feeling sober?
That's the
There's a
key.
reason.
Yes. And I heard some people talking today. I don't know if I was on Facebook or not, man, but miserable people, and it took me a lot to understand this. Like today, I understand everything he said. He said, he drunk because he was unhappy. He got high because he was unhappy. He run dope because he was trying to make ends meet. He was living above his means, and in reality, you see all these pictures like on Facebook, people drinking at a bar and partying. Woo, we go Kentucky, go Cincinnati, or whatnot, whatever. They're drinking, acting a fool, but on that way home, they're like, "Oh, don't let me get pulled over.
Yeah,
Let me
they're
make
they're
it
saying
home."
they're already saying that jailhouse prayer.
And they're waking up, they're going home, taking 14 Tylenol and drinking a bunch of water because they got to be at work tomorrow. If they smell the alcohol in the morning, they're going to get fired and lose their job. So they're
Right.
doing everything they can do, spraying cologne and all this. Like, listen, I'm grateful I don't got to live like that no more, man. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
I can go to bed, wake up, and get a Red Bull and be a productive member of society. Am I perfect?
Amen.
No. But it's all back to the inside, man. If you're not happy on the inside, you're wasting time, man.
Amen. And I said, and I've told you all what drugs and alcohol where it took me. Now let me focus on where my sobriety
Yes,
is,
sir.
and where I'm at today, man. Like I said, when I come back there on July the 8th of 2016, back to Isaiah House, I had a Walmart sack, Mike. I had a pair of flip flops and a pair of shorts and a shirt. That's all I had.
Mm-hmm.
And they was dirty, nasty. You know what I mean? I didn't have nothing.
Yep.
My mom puts me out in the parking lot. She said, "Don't even call." She said, "Don't call me and ask me for money." She said, "You figure this out." And that made me mad at first. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I
Well,
thought, man,
yeah. Yeah.
like you don't put no money on my books or nothing. Come on, mom. But I'm glad she did it,
Yes.
and I'm earnestly glad she did it. As I was going through her, I wouldn't take no home visit. I took one home visit at Christmas time because mom wanted me to come there. Other times I said, you know what? I've burdened you this long. I don't want to be a burden no more.
Right.
I've got to figure this out, and I've got to figure it out on my own as a man. I've got to figure out my own life. And I had somebody told me coming through here, man. I was going into sober living, and he stopped me, and he know who he is. And he told me, he said, "Won't you do me a favor?" And I said, "What's that?" He said, "Sit back," and he said, "Grow a flower for a year," and he said, "Keep that thing alive." And dude, it didn't even make no sense to me. You know what I
No.
mean? I was like, dude, I ain't no green thumb. I don't know nothing about no growing no plants. So it went on, and about 2 years into my sobriety, I was here at our house, and I was outside mowing the yard, and I stopped, Mike, right dead in my tracks. I stopped, and I was about 2.5 years sober, and I stopped, and I got to looking around, and there sat a house in front of me, and I looked around, and there was two vehicles sitting in the driveway, and I looked around, and the kids was playing in the yard,
Yeah.
and dude, I fell down and sat on the porch and started crying
Yeah.
because I finally realized what that dude meant when he told me to
Yes.
grow a flower. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And I
Yes.
sat and I thought about that, and man, life's great today.
Mm-hmm.
I love life today. I wouldn't change nothing about it. It's chaotic. We got 3 kids in the house, but I wouldn't change nothing about it. You hear me?
No.
Not a thing. I wake up every morning. I'm the first one out of bed, and I'd like to be the first one in bed, but I ain't never.
Yeah.
You keeping me up at this time. I had to go drink some Monster water. But life's good today, man. And now we've started the process to buy our own home now because we rent
Mm.
right now. But now we've started the process to get our approvals and everything for a loan because we got our credit built up today.
Yes,
These
sir.
are things I used to sit back and watch people. I'm like, God, man, how they do that? I
Yeah.
know how they do it. They don't do drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how they do it.
Yeah.
And I sit back today, man, and then things that we accomplish
Mm-hmm.
and the work I see God doing every day,
Yes.
and things I always ignored. You know what I mean? I never
Mm-hmm.
paid no attention to it. And today, dude, I can see the littlest thing, and I'm like, I see you. I
Yeah.
see what you, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I try to talk to guys that work with me all the time. And I said, man, quit letting people's words affect you.
Yeah.
I said, and I almost sound like back in the day, I'd been a hypocrite trying to tell somebody that because I always let it happen. But today, man, I let things roll off me like a duck.
Yeah.
I don't, words are words. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when I lay down in bed, I know I've put a good, successful day in, and I rest peacefully. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I know my mom's resting peacefully. I know my
Amen.
sister's resting peacefully. I know my
Amen.
wife, when she lays down, she's peaceful. The kids in the house are peaceful. We've
Yes.
got food, we got shoes, we got clothes, we got cars, we got a home. You know
Hey,
what I mean?
your lights are on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
You're
ain't
not,
candle lights today, man.
and you're not running an extension cord, are you?
But
But
man,
go ahead.
oh, you good?
Um, Back to while you're on this journey, the process, man. And the key word you said, because when I was in my madness, I didn't understand how all these people done these things in life. Had a nice vehicle, had a commercial mower, um, went on vacation, went to this Walmart and spent $300 in groceries. Like I never understood how they done it. Like how do they do it? You know, Today looking back, I know how they do it. You said it. They don't do drugs and alcohol.
And
You
it
know,
ain't so hard, is it?
and it's not. But like I wasn't taught to have a bank account. I wasn't taught to have a credit. Like I never was taught that we need a credit score. Like I was always taught cash is king. But when you're not living that lifestyle, not in that dope world or the fantasy world that you're John Gotti, when you're nobody, you're harming, killing people. But the
Right.
point of the matter is, normal people have a bank account. They have credit cards. They have paper trails. They have cell phones in their name. They're not changing their cell phone number every 30. Like I know a guy, bless his heart. I love him. He's almost rock bottom. And I told him, I said, if you don't stop, he's a family member, man. And he would call me every 45 days. I just called to tell you I love you and got a new phone number. It's a family member. I'm like, dude, you change your number every 30 to 40 days. He's like, I got to. They're watching me. They're listening to me. I'm like, well, quit selling dope. You hear me? But his run's down to an end. It's coming to an end here shortly, man. But I like how you said grow a flower. Like I couldn't grow a flower, but I remember, seeing people out in the yard planting flowers, mowing the yard, their kids
Huh?
on the swing set, and I always wondered, man, God, I mean, is that life really
Possible.
available, possible, or even available for me?
Right.
And once I surrendered and finally said, God, listen, I'm done. like 14 years, suicide, homelessness, back living out of a backpack, couch surfing, waiting on robbing Paul to pay Peter and John. You know what I'm saying? Uh, that life is possible because I have that life today. You have that life today, man. We're fathers today. We're productive members of society. We're friends today. We it's just amazing, man. But that life
And the best
is,
part is, man, you get to spread the message every day.
yeah, and we're free. like when we end this live tonight, we're gonna go in our living room. I am. I'm gonna sit on the couch if my wife lets me, and we're gonna watch a
Yep.
movie or something if she don't go to bed because she's not feeling good. But I ain't got to worry about getting the door kicked in or the police coming and raiding my house. Like, they can come in here and search my house all they want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have nothing to
Amen.
hide. And a lot of people says, well, man, that's against your rights. So listen, I have nothing to hide. Come and search my house, my cars, my yard, search whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to
Whatever
tell
you
you
want,
no.
you ain't gonna find it.
No, I mean, there's nothing here. But, I never knew this life was possible, man. And like, relapse is not part of my story because I never forget the pain, man. And I got a lot of people that looks up to me, a lot of people that I inspire. Number one, my family. Number two, my kids. Number three, my mom's at peace.
Yep.
Number four, I just seen my brother here at Richmond Walmart, man. It was just a God moment. He pulled up, was blocking the road, and I laid on the horn, and my brother jumped out and didn't know it was him. I thought I was getting ready to get beat up, and it's my brother. You hear me? But we're free today, man, and
Amen.
you're an example. You're free too, and so your wife, she's in recovery, works for Isaiah House too.
Yeah, she's coming up on 5 years
Show
sobriety,
out then.
and she's been employed now at Isaiah House for a little over 4 years. She's a purchasing supervisor. I'm the kitchen manager. I oversee 5 different kitchens, and it's a daunting task, but I love a challenge. You know what I mean?
Are
I
you
lived
gaining
in
weight?
chaos. I lived in chaos, and I still thrive in chaos. You know what I mean? Because we can orchestrate it today.
Yes. So
We
so
know
you're over 5 kitchens, and how much you weigh today?
how much I weigh today. 201.
I got you beat by about 50.
Hey, I weighed $1.19 though when I come in.
I know I weighed 180, man, when I was dropped off at the homeless shelter, man, June the 1st, 2016, and I was scared to death, man. And I've spoke at your all's facility, man. I've referred a lot of people up there, man. Um, and every time I go in that building, man, just the spirit, of
There's I tell everybody there's something unique.
yes,
I'd never been to a place where I'd been to multiple rehabs, dude. I've been to the
yes,
Ridge in Lexington. I've been to Recovery Works. I've been to many of them,
hmm
but there was just something unique there, and the God atmosphere was a
yep,
big one for me. But the employment placements and things like that was huge because you just wasn't returning to the street for nothing. You
yep.
know what I mean? And it mattered.
So like when you're having a bad day, what does Denzil do?
Hey, look here. Hey, remember the story I was telling you about going to the tobacco fields when I was a kid? Look, when I was little, I love arrowheads, man. I love ancient man stuff. I'm a history buff. I love anything, any antiques. It don't matter what it is. I like old crap. And I think I was about 5 years old. I was hiding in a tobacco field one day, and I looked down, dude, and there was an arrowhead laying on the ground. I thought it was just old rock. I
Right.
picked it up and I took it home. My papa told me what it was. And even to this day, when I have a bad day, Mike, you know what I go do?
What's that?
I go hunt arrowheads. And
Awesome.
but like I said, the story's unique behind it because it was an escape for me when I was a kid, and it helped ease my mind. And
Hmm.
today, even when I have a bad day, my wife will look at me. And thank God I've got a woman like that because she'll look at me and she said, "Go walk a field."
Yeah.
And it's my God time. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's my time to get away and get into nature and let it out.
You
And
know
I've
what?
caught myself walking, man, and just screaming top of my lungs, just trying to release it. You
Yep.
know, you work with 100 some odd recovering addicts every day, dude. It gets a little chaos.
Yes.
You know what I
You
mean?
know
It gets a little crazy at times. So everybody needs and everybody needs an escape. You know what I
hmm
mean? Everybody
Yeah.
needs that time that you can go and do something.
You
Like for
you
you,
time.
you do you do this and you go to jails and
Yep.
ministries, and that helps you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not only
Mm-hmm.
are you helping other people, it's helping you.
Yes, it
You know
helps
what
me
I mean?
tremendously. Yes. But and that's the good part about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't keep it unless you get away. And I mean, and what's crazy is, I'm not a convicted felon, man. I've been to jail 4 times. I've not done a real lot of jail time, man. But actually, today, 2 years ago, I was with Tony Barrett out of recovery, Montgomery County, and Gordy Wadspool. I went into Montgomery County Jail and spoke today, 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And actually, a guy that works for Isaiah House, Gage Patterson, was in the SAC program there, and I met Gage that day
Huh.
on this day 2 years ago. And then today, Gage works for you all,
Right.
and that inspired me, man. Like something about going to the bottoms, man. I want to go to the bottoms, like the homeless people, the jails, the schools, man. I want people to understand that there's drugs and alcohol. No, do not listen. It's a dead end road, man.
Right.
Jails, death, and institutions. That's the only way out. If you're an addict or alcoholic like me, now, if you can drink and drug successfully, my hat's off to you. Maybe
I
you,
can't.
right. No, I can't either. You know what I'm saying? And, that's what it's about, man, is we got to tell our story, because there's a comment on here, man. Some guy said that he needed to talk to you.
Hmm.
So something in your story, I guess he needs some questions with, man. And it's just amazing.
That's what it's
Living
about, though.
free today, man. Accountability. So let's talk about a little bit of accountability. When your wife holds you accountable, how's that make you feel?
I can't lie. It ticks me off every now and then. You know what I mean? I know you
Oh,
probably know.
I know what you mean. Yes, sir, I
But
do.
I'm grateful that she does that. And
Yes.
I'm quick to hold her the same way. You know what I mean? And that's what makes us thrive well together.
Yeah.
I always hear the saying that two people in recovery don't never turn out right. But we're living proof if you're doing the right things and
Yes.
walking the walk like you're supposed to, not just talking it, but
Mm-hmm.
walking it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I hear a lot of talk sometimes, but footsteps mean a lot. And we walk it every day,
Yeah.
and we hold each other, and we're there for each other, and it works.
Yeah.
It's unique sometimes, and I look at it sometimes, and I'm blessed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I know, and
And
I can relate to you, man, because my wife does me the same thing. When she holds me accountable, I don't like it, but honest to God, I'm grateful that she does that, because she's not my higher power. God's my higher power, but she is a huge. Even though she's my wife, she's my
hey,
best
look here,
friend.
God brought her to you,
Yes, like
just the way He did my wife.
she keeps me in line for real. Like, I'm not perfect, man. I got a slick mouth. I talk out the side of my neck. I think I'm right and everybody's wrong, but you know what I'm saying? She brings me back down to my level. But and a huge shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? She's the best mom in the world, man. She allows me to travel and speak and carry the message while she, we got 2 kids, and today's my stepdaughter Jasmine. She turns 21 today. Marie's first daughter, and that's a huge blessing, man.
And
Just to
this evening we were sitting in a gym down in Springfield, Kentucky here, watching my daughter play volleyball. And I was sitting in there, and my little boy was sitting in my lap, and the other one was sitting there playing on his cell phone. It kind of, and I was thinking about doing this tonight. Then it all just kind of flooded in on me there, and I know I probably looked like I drifted off into la la land there, but I was, dude, because that feeling is so good. You
mhm.
know what I mean?
Yes, yes, I
There's
do.
no other feeling about it.
No, but and it's amazing, because you got to be the light, man, and your audio matches your video. There's a lot of people out here that audio don't match their video.
Right?
But real recognizes real, just like out in the street. You could tell who was real and who wasn't, man. And Robbie Pearson commented here and said, "You owe him some Pop Tarts. What's up with that?"
Robbie all the time thinking I owe him something. What I want to know, man, what Robbie doing if I went matching clothes on with that dog and that woman? Huh?
Listen, hey, what's crazy? What's crazy is the other night we was talking when Cincinnati won the game.
Yeah.
He said, "Man," he said, "what's really going on?" He said, "I got a girlfriend and Cincinnati won the game. What's really going on?" And he's another one, man. I met him through Facebook, man, and I brought him to the jail down here to speak, and he's real. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
look,
He's got He's got a heart.
Robbie worked volunteered in the kitchen with me for a while, man, and
He
that's
can't
where his Pop
cook.
Tart love come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he can't cook. He can't cook nothing but Fruity Pebbles. You hear me?
He can't. He barely pour them out of the box.
Well, listen, man. I appreciate you coming on here, man. You're a blessing to a lot of people. A
Thank
lot
you
of
for the
guys on.
opportunity, man.
A lot of these people on the. I'm trying to go back from page to page here to my platform versus my live platform. Robbie's stuck on my personal platform. But Justin Crow, I see you, man. I love you. Hit me up. But I appreciate everything you do, not only for the community, but for on Facebook, the recovery platform, man. What you do at the Isaiah House, because I've heard a lot about you, man, and I'm grateful to have you on here, man, and let you share your story. And your mom is proud of you. Like, mom, he's awesome. You hear me? Yes. But we got a few minutes, man. Give us a hope shot here before we end this out tonight.
Just just like I tell everybody, man, especially the clients that come through, I see so many of them, man, and I always revert back to them and I sit down with them and I say, look at me, and I said, now here, let me show you what I looked like 5 years ago. I said, everybody's got a story. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's story is unique. You know what I mean? Not everybody's is the same. But I said, if a broken mess like me, that's been left in pools of blood, that's lived homeless, that's eat out of dumpsters, that tried to kill himself.
Yes.
If I can do it, anybody can do this.
Yes.
You know what
Amen.
I mean? I've done my time in jails and everything. I was one of the worst of the worst. You hear me? Mm-hmm. But when I made the conscious decision that I was done, I was done.
Yes. Yes.
And you know when you're done.
Yeah, you know.
You know.
Yep.
It's that moment. It's hard to explain, man, but you know. And if you need help, reach out to somebody, man. There's people like Mike. There's people like me. There's people everywhere that do things like this.
Yes.
Reach out to them. You're not alone. I always felt alone. You know what I mean? I felt alone, but I finally figured out that I wasn't alone.
Yep. Amen.
You can make this work. Mike,
Amen.
I appreciate the opportunity, man. I appreciate what you do. You like you said, real can tell real. You're a good dude, man, and I appreciate it.
That means a lot.
Going to the jails and doing these live podcasts, man, it takes you away from your family.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But your family understands this helps you heal too.
Yep. Yep.
And I appreciate everything you do, man. Keep it up.
I appreciate you, man. Listen, Denzil, I love you, man. You need me anytime, holler at me, man. I'm going to exit you out of the screen. You're good to go. Right. And keep doing what you're doing, man. I love you. See you, bye. Yes, sir. Denzil Hall with Isaiah House, man. Listen, if you're out there struggling, man, listen, mental illness is real right now. We got people committing suicide. We got people relapsing. We got people dying. We got people, shooting up for their last time, man. Listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed physician. I'm just a recovered $2 needle junkie, homeless, stealing, robbing, cheating, thugging, manipulating human being with a different mission today, man. I've forgiven myself for the things I've done. But my point is here, man, if you're out there struggling, you need to talk. You got something you're holding on to, man, that's going to eat your lunch every day until you use. Reach out to me, my wife, Robbie Pearson, Denzil Hall, Brittany Clemens, whoever, man, and get free. Stop carrying that stuff, man. Life's going to show up. We're not going to get things we want. We're going to get aggravated, mad, whatever, man. And the devil's going to say, well, let's get high. Let's get drunk. Let's drive by the liquor store and let's get a drink. Nobody's going to see us. Come on, boy. That's the devil talking to you, man. But I promise you, that next one could and will be your last one. May not be today. May not be tomorrow. It may be 30, maybe a year down the road. But that dope's got one purpose: to kill you. Kill, steal, and destroy. I don't want to do that to my family. I don't want to do that to my friends. I don't want to do that to my parents. That's why I do what I do. Dropped out of high school at 18, 14-year drug addiction, homeless, living out of a backpack. Today, through the Hope Center and the 12 steps, and my God, I have a purpose today. I have love and concern for other people. I have my GE today. I'm married. God's blessed me with some kids. They get on my nerves, but I love them to death. You hear me? Like, I'm 42 years old, man. My wife, you know what I'm saying? We are living life today. All because we surrendered. We tapped out. We was done. When the pain gets great enough, you'll do something different. I never understood that. But when you get tired of being sick and tired, you get tired of waking up every morning calling a dope man, robbing, stealing, cheating to go get you your next hit. There's a way out. I promise you that. If you will give recovery and God that much of your time and effort to get your next fixed, I promise you within 30 days your life will change. I'm not saying you're going to get a new Mercedes Benz or a new Corvette or a new house. But when you look yourself in the mirror, you're going to love you. And if you don't love you, you can't love nobody else. If you don't love you, you don't love your kids. If you don't love you, you don't love your wife. If you don't love you, you don't love nobody. I'll be the one to say it. It starts with you. You got to love yourself before you don't love your mom and dad. If you're robbing, stealing, cheating, lying to them, bumming money off of them, you don't love them. You love the dope more. Been there, done that. I'll keep it on me. I love getting high. I said I love my family, but I didn't because I took everything from them, their peace, their serenity, their money, their valuable things. I took it all because I'm a selfish piece of crap 5.5 years ago, man. It's not my story today. It's not my story. I've made my amends for the wrongs I've done. If you're struggling, you're depressed. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed physician. I'm not a drug counselor. I'm just an old $2 recovered needle junkie from Richmond, Kentucky, man. Reach out. There's a solution. There's people that help you. There's treatment facilities available right now. You can pack your bag. We can have you a bed within an hour or 2 hours. We can have you a ride there. So if you're out here watching and you run across this video next week or whatever, and you're sick and tired, reach out. 859-300-1503. There's a way out. I love you because I love myself. My wife loves you because she loves herself. Denzil Hall loves you because he loves himself. Robbie Pearson loves you. You know why? Because he loves himself. Huh? Listen, I love y'all, man. Get this shared out. Hit that heart button, man. I hope Denzil's message tonight helped somebody. I know it helped me. I feel better. I'm going to get some shout outs here on both of my platforms. Robbie Pearson, I love you. Tabitha Deathridge, welcome. Cody Sparks, I love you, man. Proud of you. I'll get into that rest in peace in a minute. Mandy White from London, I appreciate you. Adam Larkin, Team St. John. Check out get.com. Adam's a good dude doing big things. Melanie Dahl, welcome. Let's see. Who else is on here? Daniel Bailey, Bradley Chadwell, I love you. Kayla Robbins, appreciate you tuning in here. Nelson Lynn, I love you. J-Dub, I love you, man. J-Dub, awesome. Good to see you on here, man. Tony Snap, I love you, man. You know what? I love people that complete treatment and they come and subscribe to my lives and they're in the comments, man, and they're doing awesome, man. It's just a blessings, man. Let's get back over here to this platform. Diana Johnson, welcome. Listen, man, I love you all, and I appreciate y'all's support, man, and, we do recover. Life is possible. And we're going to close this out, man. If y'all don't care, man, rest in peace, John. I'm not going to put a last name on there. But you know what I'm saying? I've known him for 5 years, man. And, he done one more. And he's no longer with us, man. Are you willing to take that chance? Are you willing to snort that little piece of line or shoot that little shot and take your life? Because I'm not. And I don't want to see you do it, man. But that next use could be your last use. I love you all. I appreciate y'all joining, man. I will see you all next Monday night. We're going to close this out right here. I'm out of here.
You ain't got cold chill, something's wrong with you. Gotta know it. You in the wrong building. Nowhere to turn.
I could really use a friend right now. Yeah, I just need a friend. I'm staring at my window pane. I'm staring at my window pane. I could use a friend. I could use a friend. I just need a friend right now. Right now. I'm staring at my window pane.
I'm counting raindrops, like where's God at? When will the pain stop? Like when will this be over? How come I can't stop? I swear to God, I can't stop. I ain't believing God, still I would pray to him. When no one else around, when they brought them trays to him. Like where my ride or dies, it's like I was dead to him.